Sacred Rage. Part 1. Sacred Rage. Learning to name the fire. I didn't grow up learning how to feel anger. I grew up learning how to fear it. In my house, anger wasn't communication. It was protection. It was a weapon. My dad was an angry man, and he let that rage consume him. Spill it out. He let it take up space and hurt people. He used it on his family, and he used it on me. So early on, I learned something dangerous. Anger itself was evil. Anger was something that you survived, not something that you held. And when you grow up like that, you don't learn boundaries. You learn fawning. You learn freezing. You learn how to disappear so the storm passes faster. And the lesson followed me straight into adulthood, into relationships that mirrored the same power dynamics. Someone looming, using rage as control, me shrinking and appeasing and trying to stay safe. And somewhere in all that, I internalized a belief that wrecked me. If anger hurts people and I feel anger, then I must be bad. And that belief fed my shame for years. The moments when my anger terrified me the most weren't with partners. It wasn't with authority. It was with my kid. And because I didn't know how to regulate myself, I was still a fawner with no boundaries. And because I'd been taught not how to hold emotion instead of explode or swallow it, there were moments when my anger leaked out towards my daughter. And the shame from that still lives in my bones. And I hated myself for it. I told myself I was becoming the thing that hurt me. That fear lodged in my body like a parasite. My chest was tight. My heart would race. My thoughts would race. My voice would scream that you're dangerous, you're broken. And honestly, I didn't think I deserved any forgiveness. And that's what unprocessed rage does when it's turned inward. It doesn't disappear, it mutates. The shift didn't happen at once. It was some spiritual epiphany. You know, it was therapy. Real, gritty, uncomfortable therapy. I had to learn emotional regulation. I had to learn that anger doesn't automatically mean harm. It means that something was crossed in you, something that mattered, and something wasn't okay. And slowly, painfully, I realized something radical. I had every right to be angry. I had every right to be angry. The problem was where it was pointed. I didn't need to erase my rage. I needed to redirect it towards the people and the systems that were actually causing harm, not towards my kid, who deserves safety and love. And that realization doesn't make me some perfect being, but it makes me honest about the conversation on anger. So what helped me find peace with anger wasn't like, spiritual positivity or forgiveness and all of that. It was learning this over and over again, seeing myself in a mirror. And I had to learn that every emotion is meant to be felt, and every emotion is meant to be included. Anger is meant to be included. And that was hard for me to accept because I was taught that emotions were dangerous. But once I stopped fighting them, therapy really helped me get that language. Self-help and therapy helped give me those tools to recognize anger as an emotion that was beneficial. And so ultimately, some of the things that have kept me alive through all of this is friendship. even with some of those toxic friendships, having people validate my experience was definitely something that helped me survive. And people who can sit with me in that mess and don't flinch when I name my shadow, or who don't demand that I'm healed, that's where my anger became safer. And that's when it became witnessed. That's when it became witnessed instead of being shame. And I want you to hear this clarity, because anger doesn't make you abusive. Avoiding it doesn't make you good. And shame doesn't make you safe. One gentle step is letting someone trustworthy see the truth of what you feel. Not to fix it, not to justify it, just to let it exist without punishment. This is the beginning of this series, and it's not about justifying or glorifying rage. It's about alchemizing it, turning survivor fire into clarity, boundaries, self-respect. I'm Orion Umbra, a non-binary survivor, an alchemist of the abused. And this is where we stop being afraid of our own flame and we start learning how to tend it.